Could starting a side business work for you? Is it something that you could make happen and you could see that an extra online income stream from here and it would add up and be a blessing to you, your family, and what's on your heart? Could you make it work? The answer is probably maybe. You see, it depends, and I'm going to answer this question in more detail in just a moment. But firstly, my name is Richard. I'm an Australian who lives here in Hong Kong. I'm a pastor of a local church, and I love also to talk about building side businesses. And that's what this channel is all about. I love to talk about how we can do that in a way that's healthy, that's not going to kill our time and take us away from our family, but it's going to be a blessing instead. So stick around, and we're going to be talking today about whether a side business is right for you. Now, the question, is it right for you? I really need to kind of clarify a few things. Firstly, I'm talking about an online side business, okay? I have no experience with starting like a physical business. I have not been successful in that. I've never tried, to be fair, but that's not what we're talking about in this video. So I'm assuming that you're considering whether or not to start something online, which I believe is the way to go, especially for a side business, and not just a side business, but really especially for a side business. And so you're looking for kind of how you could set up maybe some income streams, some different ways where you could essentially make some money online. I know that sounds cringe, but it is true, and it's okay. There's a lot of things online that happen these days. There's online dating, there's online relationships, there's online networking, there's, yes, even making money. It's okay. We have virtual lives these days, and we gotta get comfortable with that. Anyway, end of my rant. So we're not talking about the traditional physical business, we're talking about an online business. Could an online business be right for you? Now, preferably, it would be something that has either a digital product or you provide a service. And so in other words, you're using your time to build out something online for someone. Now, I'm assuming that the very strong entrepreneurial types are not watching this video because they already know that this is in their heart. They already know that this is what they want to do. I'm going to assume that you're on the fence, or you're very much doubting whether or not this is right for you or not. So, and I get it, because I was just like that too. In fact, I've been a pastor here in Hong Kong for many years, 12 years now. And I started my side business about 5 years ago. And really in the lead up to that, it's something that I had wanted to do. I did want to start a side business and do something else online, but I doubted myself. I didn't think I had the time. I didn't think that I had the capacity, and I wondered whether or not it was really for me. So I've been there. I get it. I've been on that fence before, and had moments where I've been inspired, but then also been discouraged as well. So let me kind of simplify this. I'm going to give you 3 questions, and they're kind of all over the place, but I think these 3 questions are really going to help you to decide whether or not you are ready for that side business. And the first one is, you have a problem or a vision. Let me explain. You either have a problem that you need to solve, or you have a vision that you want to build. Okay, so for me, when I first started my side business, my problem I was trying to solve was I was looking ahead at the future of my 4 sons, 4 little boys in my household running around, crawling around. And I'm thinking, this is going to get expensive. And I want to give them great opportunities to travel and to do some other things on my heart. And we're going to need a bit more finance. I need to build another income stream. If you know my story, with me working for the church, I don't want to change that. I'm not trying to replace my job. I'm not trying to replace that. That's a stable income and it's great. It's a blessing. But how can I lift that? And the only way to really do that without leveraging your time, because you could go get a second job, but I am kind of strongly against that idea on this channel. I think if at all possible, you should start a side business instead of going for a second job, because you're trading time for dollars instead of results for dollars. And if you get good, you can get more results and you can get more dollars without spending more time. Hope that makes sense. So I had this problem to solve, and that's what drove me to want to do something about it. And I had a strong why. You need a why. You're going to have to be motivated. Motivation is important. And honestly, a lot of this channel, this content is kind of a little bit motivational. I'm trying to be a little bit motivational because I know that we need that. And yeah, you shouldn't rely on a YouTube video or someone to pump you up. You need to essentially become self-motivated. Now, it's good if other things can motivate you as well. Great, I'll take it. But you need to be self-motivated because no one's gonna be clapping for you. Yeah, wow, you're doing so good on that business. Hey, if you have people in your life that are cheering for you, treasure those people. Hopefully your spouse, hopefully a few key friends. But honestly, most people are just pretty busy. They're going on with their lives, and there's nothing against you, but no one's standing around clapping for you and your achievements. And I think we just got to accept that. That's fine. That's the reality. But I've got to be motivated for my own future of this problem that I want to solve. This is important, and I need to put the work in to solve this problem. And the other thing I mentioned was a vision to build. And for me recently, I guess you could almost put it in both baskets. It's kind of a problem and a vision. But my vision is to replace my wife's income. And then that would give her the option to be able to quit her job if she wanted to and just hang out with us more. Now, I don't know what she wants to do. She can work that out, but my goal is to replace her income, and that's a vision. The problem, I guess, is that she's working a lot, but it's also connected with the vision of the life that we want to build in a perfect world. It would be without her having to work. So you need to be motivated. That's my why. That's why I do this in my free time. That's why I build my business in my free time. I'm trying to upskill myself. I'm trying to grow my influence. I'm trying to do all of that because I've got a strong why. What's your why? Do you have one? Maybe you've got kids. Maybe you want to save for a wedding or something like that. Or I don't know what your dream is. I don't know what your vision is, and I don't know what your problem is. But you need that. That clearly defined, because it's gonna fuel you when things get hard. And there will be moments where you have to hold on just with sheer commitment. And I've made a great video about that. Check that out here. It's all about the power of commitment and how it can turbocharge your dreams. And but you need that. You need that strong commitment, that strong reason as to why I am gonna build this business. All right, so that's the first thing. You have a problem or a vision. If that's you, good, you're on the right track. The second thing, and this is where it gets a bit more interesting, is that a side business could be right for you if you are competent with a computer. Okay, now what I mean by that is you can use a computer to, an average level, okay? Obviously, when we're talking about an online business, you can't be absolutely hopeless with technology, okay? I'm not talking about, I'm probably not talking to the grandma or granddad out there who are in their, they're 75 and, maybe, hey, sure, I'm not ruling you guys out, but do you know what I'm saying? Like who can't even work out how to send an email on their phone. Like you're probably going to struggle in a digital business if you can't use a computer, to at least to an average level. Now, you don't have to be a coder, a programmer. You don't have to be one of those people. I'm certainly not. But I do enjoy learning. I like to learn new software and things like that. And I can manage my own Instagram account and, so you could just start with things like that. You just have to have a level of competence where, you can get by, because you can't be hopeless online. All right. You got to at least have that base level. You don't need to be advanced. You can learn some advanced skills in very specific areas, and I've done that over time. Like, for example, with the skill of ranking a website, I've learned how to do that. But at the beginning, you just need to know the basics. And so as long as you can do things competently, I think most people, maybe of my generation or younger, you're gonna be absolutely fine. Man, like really young people, if you're like in your early 20s, you guys are awesome at this stuff, so no issue. If you're competent with a computer, this might be right for you. The third thing, this might be right for you if you can make some time in your week, okay? I've said some time, and I hope I haven't lost you already, because if you're thinking, oh man, I've got no time at all, I get it. I got 4 kids, I lead a church, and I'm doing all this stuff on the side, and there's a lot going on, and it's easy to tell ourselves that we have no time, but I've found that it's not true, because hey, when the NBA finals are on, I find that I can suddenly make time to watch some basketball. You know what I'm saying? Or when a good friend comes in to Hong Kong and I haven't seen them in ages, I can suddenly make time to squeeze them in and be able to spend some time with them. We can all make time for what is truly important. And so I'm not talking about a lot of time, okay? Let me be clear, some time. But it is, you are going to require something. There is a time commitment involved with starting a side business. And I want to build a business in a way that is less and less time over time. And for me, that's what I've done. I spend very little time on my business right now, on my active business. Mostly I'm spending time building future things for my business, maybe working on a future client's stuff, or that didn't make any sense. Future client stuff. I mean, setting up, building assets so that I can get a client later on, things like that. So not on my current client base. So a lot of my time goes into future stuff and not managing my business, which is great. That's the way to do it. But at the beginning, you are going to have to invest some time, and that's going to be into 2 areas, both learning and doing. And the learning time is great thanks to technology, and I've made whole videos about this as well. You can learn through YouTube for free, and you can do it while you brush your teeth. You can do it while you're having a shower in the morning, and you can put a podcast on and listen to that. You can put on tutorial videos and watch that. I have a speaker in my bathroom so that I can listen. So that while I'm having a shower, brushing my teeth, or whatever. But you can be watching YouTube. You got to redeem the time, redeem your lost time on your commute. While you're driving, obviously you're not going to be watching, or while you're traveling on the train or something like this, redeem lost time and use it for YouTube to study, okay? To learn for free, or even better if you've got an online course to do that. Now that's the first part, is the learning. Then there's the doing. You are going to need some time to actually put into practice what you're learning, or you're really going to plateau. So this kind of time, you need to be focused time. You can't be brushing your teeth at the same time. You can't be multitasking. You can't really redeem time for this. You're going to have to force yourself to make some time. And so for me, it was early mornings, and I decided that I was going to leave the house, maybe 6 a.m., and I'm going to get in a good 2 hours of work before my day job starts. Before my job at 9 a.m. starts at the church, I'm going to have done 2 hours of work online. Now that could be at a cafe, that could be at home before your kids are awake, before your spouse is awake. Any of those are great options. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. You could just do 1 hour. If you did 1 hour every weekday, that's 5 hours a week of doing. It's going to be slow, but if you're adding in that redeemed time of learning as well, then you can really build something, over 6 months. You can really get something going. Now, another option might be your lunch breaks. I don't know, you're in a current job and you can just squeeze out 1 hour while you eat your lunch. You can kind of eat and do things at the same time. That could be productive time. Another one could be at night when your kids have gone to bed. Another one could be on Saturdays, instead of you going out surfing or playing golf or whatever. Yeah, you sacrifice your Saturday morning, you let your wife sleep in or whatever, and you're up early and you get nailing your work while your kids are watching TV, and by 10 a.m. you've done 3 or 4 hours of work, and you can spend the rest of your day with your family. So I don't know what it looks like for you, but you need to be able to make some focused time in your week. Obviously, the more the better, but we can all do this. I really believe that most people can do this, unless you have 3 jobs and you're barely scraping by, and every additional free moment where you're not working or taking care of your kids, that you need to sleep, as long as that's not you. I can imagine there's some single parents out there and you're working real hard, and maybe this is not the right time for you. Really depends, I think, on your current level of income and how stable that is. But if things are really tough, maybe it's not the right season for you until you can kind of get your income up through your jobs. You don't want too much pressure on top of that. So this is not for everyone. I don't want to pretend like it is, but I think a lot of people could fit these requirements. Once again, you've got a problem or a vision, you're competent with a computer, and you can make some time in your average week. If you've answered yes to those things, then a side business might be right for you. And I would encourage you, the next step is to explore this more seriously, okay? Put energy into it, put effort into it, watch a whole bunch of YouTube channels, Google this stuff, learn as much as you can about this kind of a world. And I just believe that, you'll go down a good path. And I'm so glad. Look, I regret nothing on this path. I'm so glad that 5 years ago I got my butt into gear and started to build this business. First couple of years were tough, very tough. I lost a lot of money, but I made it all back in the next few years and more. And now it's been, just bubbling along, a great little business, making a few $1,000s in profit every month, helping my family. Not a huge business, but I spend a few hours a month on my business for a few $1,000s a month. I think that's pretty worth it. And so I want to encourage you, if you've answered yes to any of these things, explore this more seriously. Also, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. I've got no subscribers. And also leave a comment down below. I'd love to, connect with you. I'd love to hear more about your story. And if you are more interested in, finding out about side businesses or anything like this, if you want to know the kind of mindset that you need to start a side business for the first time as a complete beginner, then check out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.